It is the Riot Podcast.
Hey!
There I am.
Where were we yesterday?
It depends on what time it was.
Yeah. There was no Riot yesterday. Obie's
No.
still getting better from a sinus and ear infection.
And wow. Yeah. I do feel better.
I feel like you seem better now than you did when you got in this morning.
Yeah.
And that means you're on the mend, because a
Yeah.
lot of times when you start one way and then you get worse, that shows you're still really fighting it.
That was the Monday show.
That was you might not have got it, but it was.
I started at a certain point, and it really did go downhill as the day went on.
Whereas today, I think you'll be here tomorrow because it seems like you're feeling better.
I know that this is hard to imagine, but I actually want to come to work. Even if, all other things aside, guys, after I've taken 3 days off, which is crazy, and I'm bored of my house. Well, you don't feel well enough to be able to do anything else. Yeah, I'm out on that.
Welcome back, and hopefully you enjoy the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast. Today in the podcast, you will hear us attempt to do a food fight. Spoilers, it doesn't work out.
So if you're like, oh, I can't wait, if you're eagerly anticipating, keep waiting.
No. Yeah. Stave Zicker.
Why? Right on time.
I'll be right on time. So there's that. We also talk about some energy drink stuff. What I did while I was high on those drugs.
We have a couple of stories about, you being out and what happened during that time.
Things I did while I was out there. So, we're back. So thanks to everybody that checked in and said what's up and sent their love. Appreciate it. And hopefully, you know what? This will be it.
Hopefully that is. And don't forget, you can always join us at RadioU Riot on Facebook and follow our YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's RadioU Riot also.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ever wonder what Nicky is doing when she isn't rioting? Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com. Obadiah's is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
Woo!
All right.
I'm back.
You're here.
Yep, sure am.
This is what you're going to be back for a while, right?
Yeah, I really think this is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on the mend?
Yeah. Man, I feel like I've been gone forever.
Well, last week you had some sort of stomach bug that was so popular, and then that moved into a sinus and ear infection.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Come on.
Way to have the trifecta.
And did you see that picture I posted?
Which one?
The nurse practitioner I went to a Minute Clinic instead of my doctor, which I should have just gone to my doctor. I could have, but I was like, no, I'm so sick, I have to go now. I'm going now. So she sent me, I have 18 pills to take.
She gave you a lot of prescriptions?
Oh, yeah. And
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Well, then you have it in case you need it.
Oh, I have it. So I just want to, between the two of us, I want to apologize in advance. I'm really going to try to keep myself
really positive and moving forward today.
Yep, I am.
No reactions to medicine in a negative way.
But I decided this morning, I was like, you know what? She prescribed some kind of a decongestant I've never heard of, but seems to work. And of course, it's one of the behind the counter kind of ones. And yesterday afternoon, I had this weird moment of elation, and I actually thought, I was like, bro, that's gotta be that sinus stuff, right? And it's like, I'm not sure.
So are we going to be looking at mood swings or something? Or
I don't know.
It could happen?
I'm just telling you, I'm gonna try to keep it together.
All right. Well, I'm glad you made it, and I'm glad you're at least feeling a tiny bit better.
I had a couple people that hit me up on Twitter Monday, and they were like, bro, how does Nicky even live with you? How does she take it? I'm just I don't know.
I'm my own nurse over here.
She's long suffering. She's a true friend.
Well, I feel bad. You feel bad.
Well, you know what? We're back at it.
I know. It's going to be a great show today.
Back at it.
Some have said that if you just keep listening to The Riot, you'll learn to love them. Has that really worked for anybody yet? Has anyone tested that? It's The Riot on RadioU.
I see you shaking your head.
That's something unrelated that we can't talk about on the air.
But know that it's good because he's shaking his head a lot and coughing about it.
Okay, so lots of medication and being sick. And so the thing that I haven't gotten rid of yet are these chills. I'm
You've
freezing.
had those for quite a few days.
I don't know what's going on, but anyways, like I was laying in bed yesterday because I really got to this point where I was like, I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to play games. I just want to lay down. So I spent multiple hours yesterday laying in bed with my eyes closed.
So not necessarily sleeping, but
That's
just
right. Just laying there, listening to like podcasts and just laying in bed. I don't do that. Like that is not.
That's something new.
If you do that, like that's great because I'll have to admit I was like, I just never want to leave this place. I just want to lay here.
And normally you would take a nap or you'd get
Something,
up.
right.
So
Sleep
you're
or
in
get
between.
Up. Just laying there, it was weird. But at one point, this would have been Monday night, and it was late. And again, I'm telling you, this had to be the medicine. I don't know how I stumbled into this, but I found this app for this. I go to Blu-ray.com a lot, and that's where I get a lot of my Blu-ray news. And you guys know I have a...
He likes Blu-rays.
I love Blu-rays. It's just a thing. And so they have an app where you can catalog your collection.
Did you? Oh, my gosh. I always wondered if you would do that.
I've never done anything like that. And so...
While you're using your time, but that is so the medicine.
I know. I laid in bed for more than an hour Monday night just searching
adding
stuff. And at one point, this is so pathetic. I got up, went down 2 flights of stairs to look at some Blu-rays so I could make sure that I got them in.
Did you do your whole collection? Or
I don't think I got everything in.
Yeah.
It was all from memory. And at memory, I'm up over 200.
See, that's why we had talked about cataloging it before, and you said you didn't want to because you didn't want to know.
Right.
Like you didn't want to know an actual number.
You know what? I've finally gotten to the place, and Reddit has done this, so never go to Reddit. But there are other people out there like me.
Who have way more.
Yeah, like so much more. And I've just reached this point where I'm like, you know what? I can't. This seems to be something about myself I just can't change. I can be ashamed of it. I can be mad of it. Or I can just accept the fact that I love buying movies. I love watching movies.
And catalog it.
So
what about digital ones, too? Did you go through everything?
Well, okay, last night I found that they have an option where you can start cataloging your digital ones. But to me, that seems like a waste of time because as soon as I log into iTunes or Vudu, they're already cataloged. Like, they're all right there.
In case you wanted a complete, cohesive list.
Of all the movies I have.
Yeah, that way you could know and be able to look something up from any movie that you might have in there.
The sad part is I don't need to catalog them because I need to know. You could ask me right now, and I can tell you whether I have it. This is the other thing that was just, this is ridiculous. But, like, let's say you would look up, I don't know, Captain America or something. There were all these different editions that came out. Like, this is the 3D one. This is the DVD only. This is blah, blah, blah. I could look through all of those and including the reprints, know which one was the one that I actually owned.
You're passionate about it.
Where I bought it.
Oh, yeah.
And in a lot of cases, what I paid for it.
That's where your memories are going. I don't know how you can remember all that.
It's so... I wish I could take my mind and put it towards something important.
Oh, you like it, though.
But I like it.
That's what you do.
And this app lets you list the retailer and the price you paid for it. And I was just like, dude.
That was what you needed at that time.
It was.
You know, that's what
was.
Sickoby needed.
So
Sickoby needed to catalog his collection.
It's almost 1 a.m. I'm laying in bed. Just like.
Feeling better.
I was like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Keep going.
Let's go downstairs.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to fireobadiah@radiou.com.
So where are you at on Captain Marvel, Nikki? She's a girl. You're a girl.
I know they're expecting me to want to see Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because, Nikki, you'll be inspired when you see her continue to get up.
I haven't seen anything else. Like
she keeps getting up.
Yeah, but I've only seen a couple of the Marvel movies from the Marvel universe. So I feel like I'm not up enough to go just jump into her movie.
I got my ticket for next Friday.
Do you? Is that
on
what it's
IMAX?
out?
Yeah, I thought it was actually the next week, but no, it's next Friday. Is when it'll be out. So, yeah, I'm going alone. It's fine. I tried to get some people to buy tickets with me, and they were like, what? This far? Where? What time? I was like, forget it.
Just can't. They can't do
it. I'm going. I got my little app here. I'm in. So, yeah, I've got my Captain Marvel IMAX tickets ready to go for next week. But apparently Rotten Tomatoes had to disable their audience score ability on Captain Marvel. They say that they'll re-enable it once the movie is actually released. But the new hotness is running over and commenting on a movie before it's
comes out,
just as a way to troll. And, okay, look, seriously, everybody's so mad. is it really a thing? Like, are there really? Because I can't tell if this is just manufactured controversy or if it's real.
Could be actually both.
But like, are there people that really care that it's a girl superhero movie?
No, they're saying it could be both. There's some that are trolling because it is a girl superhero movie.
Yeah.
That feels more manufactured, honestly, because they did that with Wonder Woman with some of the stuff to try to make you feel like you need to go watch it if you are a girl.
You know, if you need to make a statement with your money.
And they totally did that with Wonder Woman, and they're totally going to do that with her, with Captain Marvel. And then on the other side, people just like to troll no matter what.
Right.
Put aside the gender thing. And then on the other end, because they said that they were leaving reviews that it was boring and predictable, it might actually be boring and predictable. So that also could be why they're mad.
Right. So
we'll just have to find out when it comes out.
I have not yet seen a Marvel movie I thought was boring. Predictable? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's a formula.
They have a formula. They work the formula. But, like, really, at the end of the day, who freaking cares?
I like it, though. They've seen an uptick in non-constructive input. It's like, that sounds so much like a teacher.
It does.
Like, are we being non-constructive, guys? So they're disabling that until it comes out.
That is inappropriate.
Yes, I feel like we're being chastised.
Well, they are being chastised, so they've pulled that down. So I don't know. Everybody seems to think it's going to be really good, and like the reviews for it have been like people have reviewed it, but they did their Twitter like quick looks where they said like they had seen it, and everybody seems to like it. And just to let you know, whether you like or don't like a movie, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
It'll still keep going.
You don't have to like it, or you can love it.
They just want you to see it.
Really, they just want your money.
Just go to give them money. You don't even need to see it.
They're not donating the proceeds to a scholarship fund.
Waking up with the Riot makes your nightmares not seem so bad. Actually, you might want to just go back to sleep. Radio U.
Man, how many times have you found yourself in a position, and maybe the answer is none, but you get pulled over and you get a ticket, and there's just that sense of injustice about it where it's like, you know what? I really should be able to fight this in court.
Yeah.
But it's too expensive to fight it in court, and I'm just going to pay the fine and get on with my life.
Sure.
You know, I have been there. One time I was ticketed by a police officer where I was like, man, this is some bull honky.
Remember Nashville?
Oh, Nicky.
Someone got pulled over.
Yeah.
and I didn't think that was fair, but he knew I was out of state, and he was like, well, you can't fight it.
I've been pulled over for speeding, and I deserved it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, hey, I broke the law. I got the ticket. There have been some others that I'm going to call gray area.
Questionable times.
But this guy here, Jason was issued a ticket, and he's like, nah.
He's fighting
Nah,
it.
brah, nah, no. So here's the deal. He lives, is it in Maryland? No, Connecticut. And he got a $300 fine from a police officer who said that he was distracted driving.
That he was talking on his phone, and then that gives you that big fine.
Right, which is illegal in the state of Connecticut. And he's like, no, I wasn't. He says, and I love this, that he was eating a hash brown that he bought at McDonald's, and the cop mistook it for a cell phone and pulled him over.
That could happen.
And so what he has done is he's hired a lawyer. He has paid more than $1,000 in legal fees to fight this $300 ticket. And the lawyer says, yeah, this happens. Sometimes I find somebody that is not willing to pay the fine and they want to fight it. And so he has, and I love this so much, they have the cell phone records from the company showing that his cell phone was not active during the times before and after the ticket was issued.
And he has the receipt for the McDonald's hash brown.
He has a receipt
so I think
for the hash brown. Shut up.
So I think what's happened is he was representing himself last year, last August, and the court upheld the fine, the $300 fine.
Okay, I didn't catch that part.
So if you're a driver, if you're unhappy with the ruling, you can then go to a trial judge.
Okay.
So he already saw the first judge. They upheld it. He said, no, I still am going to fight this. And then he has to go to a trial court.
And that's when he hired an attorney.
Yes, he's not representing himself anymore.
Amazing. Okay, Nicky, do you think that this guy will end up getting his thing overturned?
You know, I I think he wouldn't keep going if he really wasn't, he wasn't talking on his phone.
Yeah.
A lot of times after the first judge, I would think he would have given up, but I think he wants to fight that because he maybe was eating just a hash brown.
It'll be interesting to see. One thing, depending on where you're at, sometimes judges just side with police as a matter of principle because
it's easier. And
like my grandparents, they got T-boned by a police officer and should have. Let's just say they found no wrongdoing, even though the officer was running his lights when he wasn't on a call and basically didn't want to stop for the traffic light.
There's something there.
So, we'll see.
Oh, I like he has the receipt for the hash brown and he got a caramel frappe. On his way to work that day.
A little sweet and salty.
Little something, right?
I just love the idea of this guy being like,
I wasn't on it.
I have the receipt for the hash brown.
Says he's fighting it because he didn't do anything wrong, and so they'll have the verdict delivered before April 5th.
Man, maybe I should start keeping more receipts.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from McGee's. The worst of the riot on RadioU.
Yesterday I was out sick because that's what I do now. I come in and
a few times a week. You like to do that. That's the new you.
I appreciated Eric and Nick. We went to lunch the other day and they're like, so how many days this week are you working? Exactly. And I was just like, yep. That's where we're at.
They're just teasing.
That's where we're at now. This is
I
the
told
place
him
we've
don't
landed.
tease because you don't know with the antibiotics how well that'll roll over.
Are you talking to me?
And it's like, well,
you talking to me?
He might appreciate the joke after he feels better.
Oh, it's too bad. So while I was sick yesterday, I watched a movie. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the name of the movie is.
Do we get to guess?
No, not because I'm ashamed of it, but because, I guess potential spoilers. But I bought it on iTunes, which, it's the thing. You buy things. Actually, I didn't. I bought it through Google Play because they were having a 4K sale, but it ported out to iTunes. So blah, 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 whatever. So I watched the movie. I noticed they have an alternate cut of the movie. And that's one of the cool things I will say about iTunes is that if you're watching on an Apple TV on iTunes, it'll pull up a menu like it's a DVD or a Blu-ray. So it was like play or play extended edition. Now, I'd seen the extended edition before, and it was better. And I was like, yeah, let's watch the extended edition. So I did. Oh, my gosh. It has a totally different ending. And
you just weren't prepared for that? So you saw the original ending?
I've seen the original, and I've seen the extended cut.
But now there's another one?
It turns out there's an extended alternate cut, and that's the one that I saw. And it was such a bizarre thing because I'm watching it.
Well, now we want to know. We want to know what movie it was.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Well, because it drastically
changes it.
Drastically alters the movie. Let's see. When did this movie come out? Let me get a date on it. It came out in 2010.
Well, yeah, that's plenty of time.
All right. Well, spoilers for a movie in 3.
What's the
2,
movie?
It's The Town.
Which one's that one?
That's a Ben Affleck directed movie.
I know nobody
cares.
That. What are you thinking about that?
I like that movie.
Yeah.
And it's probably that I like it because it sweats heat so bad. But every 10 years, Warner Brothers tries to put out a movie that's going to be as good as Heat. It never is. But I love the fact that in this movie, Ben Affleck's character is watching Heat. And I was like, well, you know what? At least we're being honest about it.
Try. So may I ask, in the alternate ending, does everybody die or do they not die?
He dies.
Yeah.
And it's funny because
in the alternate ending?
Yes. In the original version and the extended version I'd seen, at the very end, he gets away and whatever. And I always thought, I'm like, man, it's so weird that he gets away at the end. It feels like they want, or we're going to do Heat, but it's going to have a happy ending this time. Look at this happy ending. And then this one where he dies, I was like, oh, this feels right. But
maybe it didn't go over as well in theaters or when testing.
Oh, yeah, I can totally see with the test audience, they didn't like it. But that was the part that blew me away. I was like, man, it feels like I've seen this movie for the first time. And then I had to sit there on the couch
wait.
What?
Was that also because you're highly medicated for
Maybe.
stuff? Or,
it might be.
It's fresh. I'm seeing it with new eyes that are high on antibiotics.
That's what I thought. And I was just like, man, I like the alternate. I feel like this rings more true for the piece, but I liked him getting away.
What if there is no alternate ending and you dreamt all that and that was just you watching the movie?
No, I Googled it.
Oh, you did? So there actually is.
Well, because the thing that got me is I was like, no. That's not what happens. That's not how this ends.
Can't accept it.
It's not, but Nicky, in my mind, now I have to ask myself, is he alive or dead? Which one is real? Which one of these movies is canon?
Well, you also have to then ask yourself, how often is this being done with all the other movies? With all your favorite ones. Are there always different endings that change the character?
It happens all the time. They shoot alternate endings all the time, show the movie to people, and then decide which one will do better at the box office. And, I mean, I know it's a business, and I know it's not real, but... Man, they got me yesterday. I was just like, what? What?
All right, well, I'm glad you had a chance to watch that and find the other ending.
Alternate endings. It's crazy.
They almost never want to kill the character at the end because then loses a chance of it actually did well bringing him back.
Well, yeah, I mean, the sequel.
Yeah.
But the Town 2.
The Riot is now accepting applications for a staff pastry chef. Please drop your resumes and an example of your work at the studio door, and we'll get back to you. Wink, wink. The Riot on Radio U.
So does everybody need to get their phone real fast?
They do.
Will we abide by the end result of this?
I don't know, because I feel like I know where it's going to go.
Are people going to be nice or mean?
So here's the question. Nikki and I we're here. Hello.
Yes, hello. Obi's back from being sick yesterday. So I want you to take that in consideration before you text your answer to this, everybody.
So Nikki and I were going to do this cereal food fight. We've got these Nilla Wafers that came in from Chris.
The banana pudding ones. Been looking for those forever.
There they are. Nikki is excited. She's personally invested.
I've been patient.
Something is stacked against us. First off, you can't see it, but the lights that are supposed to light us.
We got these new lighting systems here.
They're wonderful, except they flicker. It's a strobe light effect in here.
I told him it was like, remember Incredibles 2 when it came out and there were like all the warnings going in and like you couldn't possibly sit through this movie? That's what these lights are doing.
Yeah.
That strobe flashing thing.
Now, Nikki, in fairness to the Incredibles, it was one sequence.
No, there was a lot.
I thought it was just the one.
No, there was many.
Okay. All right. Well.
Now every time I open and even close my eyes, I see the flashing.
I see the flashing man.
So the lights are one thing, but then for the cereal review, I grabbed the milk from the fridge in the break room. I think it might be too far gone.
Okay. Today is Wednesday.
The 27th.
February 27th. The milk was Best By February 21st.
Like, that was its end. And I know people say, though, it depends. And we haven't smelled it yet.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We want to know if you guys think it's safe. The milk is 6 days old. Well, it's older than that. I mean, we don't know when it came out the cow.
Well, we'll go by the end of the date.
Okay.
So 6 days.
There's 6 days between the end date and
today's date.
So 877-2-RADIO-U, text us and tell us, is it safe?
Do we think that is, or is it the frugal, practical side of us? And no, you just... I don't want you to get sicker, but I also want to try the cereal today.
So Aaron says, oh, boy, that's a goner. No, I wouldn't do that one.
So that's a no.
Sarah says, safe if it wasn't opened.
Oh, it's been opened.
Oh, yeah. It's probably been opened and spit in.
Sarah says smell it as well, which we've not done yet. What if it's chunky, too?
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back and read these text messages.
Okay.
And then I think that, Nikki, since you're the one that can still smell things.
Oh, geez, everybody's texting, which is good. We asked you to.
We did.
Why do I have to smell this possibly
spoiled milk? I can't smell anything.
Fine.
So, plus it's funnier when you do it.
Oh, is that what we're really going for?
You're good at smelling milk.
Can you shake it up first, though, and tell me, do you feel like thump, 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 like little chunks of it in there?
No, it seems...
Still feels smooth?
It's just liquidy smooth.
All right, well, do you think we should...
You could shave with that.
Do you think we should try the 6-day-old milk past its date? Is that something you want your favorite morning show team to do this morning? Dance, monkey dance, drink?
We're finally back. This is our gateway to a few days off again.
Well, you don't have any more. You can have some of mine.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
We're going to keep track, or...
You know what? Yeah, sure.
Pretty close, or what do you think?
I have a note here in my hand from Chris, lifetime podcast listener. He says, Nicky Noby, I found some Nilla Wafer cereal, thought of you guys. I travel a lot for work, and your podcasts make my day more enjoyable. You're hilarious. Thanks for the laughs.
Now, Chris, for the Nilla Wafers, I've been asking for those for a long time. I really want that's my wafer. That's my cookie.
Those are hers.
It's the banana pudding
That's
ones.
where she
and so
lives.
I've been patiently waiting. They came yesterday, so I'm not even at 24 hours. But
Okay.
I was hoping we could do our food fight today.
Okay.
But then I went to go get the milk from the break room. And I feel like we need milk to try the cereal dry.
In its fullest.
And the traditional, breakfast way.
Right.
And it's 6 days past its expiration. But we've not yet opened and smelled it.
We have not, which that's a Nicky thing. But we asked you guys to text us, tell
Yes
us whether
or
you think
no.
it's safe. Sarah says, yes, it's safe. Aaron says, no, that it's not. Rachel says, I threw milk away a day before the expiration date.
See, that's more my style, too.
I don't trust
I don't
that.
even want to go close to it.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that kind of efficiency. John says, oh, is this loading slow for you? Is that?
We'll keep trying. Try the next one. There's too many coming in.
Drew says, I'd give the milk a smell, but probably not good anymore. So I'm going to count that as a no.
No.
Kristen says, it's on the edge, but if it smells okay, then okay. I'm going to make her a
6 days
yes.
is on the edge. 6 days after the expiration is the edge.
I'll tell you who lives on the edge.
The expiration is the edge.
I'll tell you who lives on the edge.
Who?
Kristen does.
Kristen, what are you doing?
Kristen never invite us over. She's like, I don't know why all this stuff's discounted.
She's buying all the expired stuff.
I just go back there and buy it. It's no big deal. Aaron says, don't do it. I work in food safety. Usually 3 past the best by date as far as you go. Yeah.
Is the worst.
Nate says, smell test, pour into a glass, then sniff. We drink skim, and it lasts sometimes over a week. I have heard that the lower the fat content.
Are you talking a work week? Because that's 5 days. Or are you talking an actual week?
That's a good call.
Because we're at 6.
John says sniff test. Don't do it. My dad says do it, but I have a horrible fear of food poisoning. I
do too.
I don't have a name on that one. Let's see. Nathan, it's slow.
There's too many.
I know. Okay, so let's see. Zach.
Most of it's no.
Zach, 100 years ago, there was no best by date.
Yeah, but people died when they were like 30.
You know what? That's also true.
So,
a lot of people want the smell test. Mark says, it's just me, but I'd drink it. So, but you know what? It's not just you. It's me and Nicky.
Maybe he means it's just him. Like no one else is counting on him. If he gets sick, it's okay.
Do it to boil the milk is the worst. Don't chance it. Oh, that must be spoiled milk and voice to text. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys hang with us? You can keep texting, and maybe someday this software will update and I can see it in time. And then we'll do the
by the way, we can't possibly text everybody back. So if you're listening and you texted us,
we love you. Thank you for texting.
Texting us when there's too many to text
There's
back.
like 400 texts here, but keep it coming.
That's a blanket. Thank you. And yes, we love you. And we'll try to smell the milk next.
No, that's what you're going to do. You're going to smell the milk.
As a group, we will.
You were going to smell the milk
No,
next.
you can come over. We can smell it together.
You never invite me over.
To my side of the table.
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. Radio U.
Looks like our food fight taste tests
It's
of
dead.
the Nilla Wafers are going to have to go
dead.
tomorrow.
The lights are flashing.
It's not dead, Dad. It's just tomorrow.
I love
Which might as well be dead.
it's dead.
Just really wanted to try the cereal today.
So here's the deal. We got
Just hand me
problems
the
with the
milk.
lights.
I'll smell it. It's fine. The milk is 6 days old. We need to buy new milk for tomorrow.
Hey, you know what? If you spill it on the board, we can just buy the new board we've been talking about.
Do you want me to?
Hey, everybody, it smells like vomit in the studio, but it's just milk.
It actually doesn't smell bad.
Take a drink.
No, I don't like milk
Come on.
anyways.
Go ahead. Just
Well, let me pour it out.
fruit of the cow. What?
Let me pour it out. Because I want to see if there's any chunks in it. It's 6 days old.
All right.
No, it seems pretty smooth. Oh, wait, what was that? No, that's a bubble. It was a bubble, everybody. Everybody calm down. It's a bubble.
So what does the bubble mean?
I don't know. No, it's like frothy because I shook it up a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like we're at a really wicked wine tasting. It's the opposite.
You got to waft it
It's
in.
spoiled milk. So that sort of test.
You know that's
testing.
got to be a thing somewhere, right? Ooh, what was that movie, Alien Nation, where the aliens would get drunk on spoiled milk? That's what you were thinking too, right?
It's not. It's not. I thought it might be one of those like cookie commercial or the milk commercials from back in the day when, you couldn't have milk without cookies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to drink it, do I? Now that I poured it.
I mean,
do I have
everybody
to? Is everybody
wants
waiting?
Everybody wants you to. Oh, she's doing it. Oh my gosh.
It has a bit of a taste. It does.
You know what? Okay, now
is it mind games? I don't know.
That's the other thing I was going to say. I could hand you milk that is completely fine, and if I told you it was sour, you would absolutely believe it.
Well, I have more tears in my eyes, but I feel like it has a bit of a kick, more than a normal kick would be.
I don't want to hear that about milk.
It's not just milk; it's spoiled milk.
When you tell me that, hey, careful that milk, it's got a little bit of a kick.
How about this? Let someone start a countdown clock, okay? Was it enough to make someone sick? I don't know. It doesn't smell spoiled, but it tastes off.
Tammy wants to know if it's 6 days old or 6 days past the date. It's 6 days past the date. 6 days past
the expiration date.
Yeah. And listen, I want you to hear, a lot of you are... well, you're Riot listeners, so you're like us. But
we have people that are either left or right. You're like, do it, you sissy. And then on the other side, you're like, no, please don't. We care about you. Like, no one's in the middle.
Listen to how nice Madeline is. She says, I wouldn't risk it at 6 days past, but you can smell it just to be sure. Besides, you might want to wait and do the taste test the cereal when Obi feels better so he can really enjoy it. Glad you're back today.
Look at what a nice person that is.
I didn't even know we had people that nice listening to us.
I know it. She seems very nice.
It seems to me like if you're going to listen to the show, she should be a little meaner, but I'm glad she's not.
Maybe she'll turn into that. Fingers crossed.
A little bit of time with us, and pretty soon she's like, I don't know, shut up and drink it, you baby.
Drink the old milk. Well, I'm gonna pour the milk down the sink. I say it's gone, and we'll do the food fight test tomorrow.
Okay, look, do you just want to have a bite of it now?
No.
Just so you can... No?
We're waiting till tomorrow.
Nicky really wants this, guys.
Vanilla banana pudding thing, we're waiting till tomorrow.
It has marshmallows in it?
No, it does not. Does it? Is that... Oh, nope. Stop. We'll wait till tomorrow.
It has marshmallows in it!
Stop looking at it. Put it away.
It's the same people that made s'more cereal. And the first ingredient is corn flour.
Oh,
so
which is still sugar.
That makes it healthy.
Okay, tomorrow we'll push our food fight to when we can get some actual milk in here.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
You know what? When people start talking about God loving them, do you know what one of my initial knee-jerk reactions kind of thing is that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see if I got this right. There's some bearded, happy man in the sky that just loves you so much, right? If he made all of this, he doesn't have time for you. He's overseeing volcanoes on Io or something. Like, this guy is busy running the show. And so, I mean, I get it. I think you can make some solid intellectual arguments, for just how ridiculous it is. It's wish fulfillment. You were raised with a parent, you were raised with Santa Claus, and now you've merged a parent and Santa Claus and put them in the sky. And that's your adult Santa dad that lives in the sky, right?
Never heard it put that way.
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
I've thought about it. But here's the thing that runs counter to that is that I have experienced a relationship with God. In a lot of ways, to me, it defies reason because all I can do is think of reasons why it shouldn't be and why it couldn't be. But part of God's greatness is that that's actually my intellectual boundary. To me, it makes no sense. To God, he's so big that it makes perfect sense because I can only imagine things that are finite and small. Even the hugest things I can imagine to God are still not really that big. He made them. And so when I tell you that God loves you and wants to have a relationship with you, I am telling you what I have personally experienced myself. and that God is bigger than my objections. He's bigger than my mistakes. He's bigger than the harm that other people have done to me. He's bigger than my depression. He's bigger than, fill in the blank, right? And so in this relationship that I have with God, he does love me, and he tells me that he loves you. It's not that I'm so special. Like, God loves each of us, and each of us have the chance to have a relationship with him and experience that love. Now, Jesus isn't going to force anything on you. He didn't force it on me. He's not forcing it on you. It's your call. You have access to that relationship if you want it. And so you might, again, like you may have objections. You might say, but I would challenge you to make the leap. I would challenge you to just say, okay, Jesus, if you're real, I want you to show yourself to me today. Come into my life. Fill me with your spirit. I'm going to start a relationship with you. Who are you? What is this? Do you love me? Talk to God about it. Because, again, I'm telling you that there are so many reasons that I can come up with that it doesn't make sense, but God's love for me is even bigger than that, right?
You'd think that after all these years of hearing me make fun of the riot, people would have stopped listening by now. Maybe it's one of those can't stop staring at a train wreck situations. It's the riot on RadioU.
All right. Game of Thrones people.
Something's coming. It's not winter.
I know you're out there. April 14th is the final season premiere of Game of Thrones, which, if you're wondering my history, I watched the first couple of episodes of that show. It was a little too delightful for me.
A little too much.
And you're like, oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, me too. That's why I'm not watching it.
Don't have to. Everybody understands. Deep down, we understand.
I'm just telling you that, like, hey, I like naked people as much or maybe more than the next person. That's why I had to pass, okay? Like, that's where I'm at with that. I did read the books, however, and I guess more than anything, I just want somebody to be like, all right, this is the end. Just tell me.
When it actually will be the end.
Just tell me what the ending is.
No pre, no post, no nothing, like just a finale.
Whatever. But here's a weird thing, Nicky. You and I have passed on Game of Thrones, but something we never pass on is an Oreo.
So the only other one I think I remember being in a marketing only sort of thing was they did a Disney, like a Mickey Mouse one.
Did they?
A while ago that was just packaged.
Wasn't it for the birthday, like Disney's birthday or something?
Something for a celebration. So there will be coming Game of Thrones packaged Oreos. Mm-hmm. But it is just regular Oreos. But the outside of the packaging has like the... What's the throne with the spikes and stuff, and then an Oreo in the middle, and then Game of Thrones lingo around the word Oreo. And that's basically the packaging you'd be looking for, but the cookie itself is supposed to be exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So that's it.
I'm looking at the packaging here. Like, it's not...
And it is a partnership.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess if you're hyped for it, okay, let me give you some background. I'm a long-term Star Wars fan. Mm-hmm. And so, they started making Star Wars movies again, and I was like, all right, whatever. And so everywhere I went, they were like, buy this Campbell's soup with Chewbacca on it. And I don't know if I've just gotten too jaded, but I was like, stop. I'm not buying cup of mushroom because you put C-3PO on it, okay?
Some people would.
Yes, they would.
Some people fall for that.
I want you to know that I know people like that, and I want you to know that there have been times in my life where I probably would have done that, but now I'm just like, whatever. So to
this Oreo with the Game of Thrones branding, you're just saying whatever.
Well, you know what? It's interesting because this is the first time we've seen a brand like Oreo. I mean, you think about Game of Thrones, like that is it's hard R content, like whatever. Oreo
is a bit more family friendly.
Right. So Star Wars is kind of a family-ish brand, whether you like it or hate it or whatever. Like, it's PG, so here's something that is pretty intense with a brand that, yes, is pretty family-ish. I mean, kids and Oreos,
Maybe they're branching out.
It is, like, there's a lot of reasons why this makes for an interesting and maybe slightly odd pairing, but
I'm surprised that they didn't just take the cookie and stamp it with something else. Like,
that's what I actually thought it would be.
Something, but it's not. It's just an Oreo. It's just a normal one.
Okay, but the only thing I will say is when you say just an Oreo,
well, it's still good, but Outside of all the limited flavors and the weird pairings that they've been doing, it's just a normal Oreo with a Game of Thrones wrapper around it.
I do love Oreos, Nikki.
It's been so long since we've had one, just a regular one.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
not a double, not the most stuff, but a regular.
Once again, there just wasn't enough material for Best of the Riot. Actually, there wasn't any Best of the Riot at all. None. Zero. Look, it's all bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. It's the worst. RadioU.
You guys probably need a new smartphone, right?
Has it been a while?
What's it been? Like last year, whatever. You
don't have a new phone for the new year yet.
On the days I've actually come to work, we've been talking about folding phones.
That seems to be the it thing they're trying to push on us for this year.
Yeah, the Mobile World Congress is going on. It may have wrapped up, or I don't know, but where they've been unveiling all these new phones. Well, here's one I didn't know. Did you know that Energizer, the battery people,
the bunny thing,
they're putting out a phone?
A phone, or is it just a battery pack?
No, it is a phone.
It's an actual smartphone?
It's an actual smartphone.
But it's huge.
It's enormous, but it has, is it an 18,000 milliamp battery in it?
So what will that do?
To give you perspective, your iPhone probably has a battery that's probably around 3,000.
And this is 18,000?
Yes.
But they say the size, like the width of it, is like 3 iPhones stuck together.
Right.
It's a brick.
But that makes it like the size of a smartphone a couple years ago.
But why would they? Is this so that you can have literally your phone and never charge it for a really long time? With
a battery that large, you could, even with a lot of use, you could go days
without it?
Yeah, days without charging it.
Why is it hard to charge your phone at night compared to carrying that thing around?
My thought is looking at it I thought a couple of things. One, there are people in the world that like something they can really grip. I can actually see, not me personally, but I can see people being attracted to, finally something that's big. Mm-hmm. I can see that. But then the other thing about it is I can see that there might be like certain jobs where this would be useful. You go out in the jungle or something.
Or if you're like, say, on the job site. I know quite a few people who are in construction and building who don't mind. Like you put an OtterBox on your phone anyways, and it's practically the size of this already.
Right. So it's just really weird to think like everybody's got a phone these days. Energizer's got a phone these days.
I thought they just did batteries. So I thought this was like a battery pack you could put your phone in. But you're right, it is a phone.
Well, I thought the same thing. I actually had to look at it twice. And then I thought it was a joke. I was like, ha, ha, ha. They're like, whatever. Like, no. This is real.
They're saying the phone itself is not anything too fancy. It's got a pop-up selfie camera.
That thing's kind of cool.
Triple 12-megapixel camera with a depth sensor, Android 9.0 operating system. Woo! Has an FM radio built in. That's about it.
Wow.
It's a beast.
It is.
It's a beast of a phone.
Hey, man, some people need it.
I want a thin phone, but big. So this is too thick.
Yeah.
But I guess if we're into folding phones now, that's also going to be thick.
I think it'll just be, I have no interest in this phone, but it's interesting to me, like phones, to me, they've hit the wall. Like
There's not much else they can do.
They're running out of stuff. You can only keep pumping the specs up so much. So where's the form factor change thing that's going to happen that's going to make us want a new phone? Is it a big battery? Is it a folding screen? What is it? I don't know, but I'm real curious to find out.
I'd like one if it walks in on its own.
I mean,
tired of carrying it.
I've even gotten to the point now, if you think about it, I've gone from having really nice phones to now I'm just like, I don't even care.
If it's close enough, that's all that matters.
I paid $130 for my phone flat, and I'm just like, good enough.
So they expect the Energizer phone to launch in June.
Well, there you go, Nikki. You're finally going to make that jump from...
I'll stick with my iPhone. Still happy with it.
There are a lot of reasons to listen to the Riot every morning. For example, give me a minute. There's got to be at least one. It's the Riot on RadioU.
So I promised you a phone game, right? Now, if you're an iOS person, you already have this.
Oh, they're like, are they supposed to text us? Are we playing a game?
No. But if you're an Android user like me, The poor, sad, pathetic Android users of the world.
Well, it's only
like me.
Android users, there's so many iterations of your phones that for a game developer, it's
Your
actually
phones?
very,
see how she says that?
It's very difficult to have it port and work over to all of them. So they just usually take more time to come out.
Yes, it takes longer to get it out on Android. Well, Stardew Valley is coming to Android.
No way.
Yes.
That's forever ago.
I know.
Finally?
Like, you got it back before Christmas last year.
No, like on the phone, I thought it was last summer or something.
Maybe it was. Stardew Valley, iOS. I don't know. I know that
Feels like a long time, but then it was also out on the Switch first.
Right. Well, let's see. Where did it come first? I think the PC, and then they put it on something, then they put it on the Switch. I don't know, whatever. October 24th of last year is when it came to iOS. So I say this a lot, like, oh, I'll get that. I'll try that, whatever. I'm getting that.
You are?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I played it a little bit, but I feel like I'm over it.
I don't know if I'll play it that much on my phone, but I think I'll play it on my tablet. Like, that to me seems like a great tablet game because I don't...
Did you have it on your PC?
Yeah, but I don't
That's just
play
a big tablet.
Well, the thing is, Nikki, like when I'm playing on the PC, I want to play like...
You want to play something else, more taxing.
This to me feels like, hey, I'm hanging out with my roommates. They're watching a show I don't like, but you want to do some community time. But this would give me something to do while they're doing that. I did that last night, and I was looking for a game for my tablet, and I was just like, no, it's too much work. Nothing looks good. Whatever.
Well, Stardew Valley is like, what was the old one that a lot of people would play? Not Candy Crush, but the
Flappy Bird?
The farm one? Farmville? Isn't it just like Farmville where you're building? Seems like it is.
It is not like Farmville.
What are you doing in Star Valley?
Okay, no.
Stardew Valley.
Stop. Okay, let me tell you right now what makes it different than Farmville.
What does it?
Okay, I'll tell you what makes it different. I'm going to give them $8, and that's the end of it.
Okay. No other microtransactions?
No. They're like, it's not going to be running timers at me, sending push notifications to let me know that my corn is in.
But you're doing crops, you're building your farm, you're mining stuff.
There's a whole story. I'm going to get to know people in the town.
Just telling you, I feel like we're
romance one of the local townswomen. We're going to start our own family there on the farm. I don't know if you can do that. I mean, I think you can get married in it.
We haven't played enough.
But you can refurbish the community center. You can go in the mines and do some mining. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I can do in there.
So Stardew Valley now on Android.
Yeah. I wish I could figure out something in real life that is financially rewarding in the way that you get rewarded financially in games.
What if you were really a farmer?
Okay.
And you really did everything like we could be mining?
If I
don't think we were meant to be mining, but...
like, if Stardew Valley was real, I could go out in my yard, and in 8 days, I could grow a crop that I could sell for hundreds of dollars.
We'd be dead within days. They'd be like, we did something wrong.
And in the real world, it's like, slave away, get your check, but you got to give it to all the people you owe the money to. Hey, I got $5 left. Can I go to McDonald's? No, the value meals are $5.99. Sit down and shut up.
Well, I'm just telling you, if we did, you're at least putting it towards something you could make a little money out of.
It's true.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
Now,
did you forget what you were going to say? Speaking of medicine.
I did.
Did it escape you?
I did. But you know what? It's fine.
It's okay. It's all
fine.
right.
I got this. When's the last time that anybody has been excited about Olive Garden?
Olive Garden. We used to go there for our Christmas party.
I know.
I think they had like that really good cheesecake there for a while. Didn't we have
it's
that?
like a raspberry something. They also have that chocolate black tie mousse cake one. Yeah. So I mean, like, it's good. But
we would go.
I feel like, but I feel like it's not. Like, when people talk about Olive Garden, I feel like it's more the butt of jokes than it is like, I'm really excited about Olive Garden.
We say that, but then every time I drive past, even though I'm not going, it's always crowded. So I think people still like it. And
they're there for the early bird.
I think the last time people really got excited is whenever they do the pasta pass things. Even if you don't get one, it's just, there's something fun going on.
Hey, you know what? I went to Olive Garden at one point. It was like their bottomless pasta, whatever they call it. And it was like $10 or $11. and it sounded like this great idea, and I only got halfway through the pasta.
You think you can always eat more, but
I was like, I'm going to eat you guys under the house, the table, the something.
When I saw these, though, I thought it does sound a lot like you.
Spicy Alfredo fried chicken.
So it's kind of like
sounds pretty good.
It's like a chicken tender coated in the sauce, which is a spicy cherry pepper sauce with Alfredo as well.
Did you say cherry pepper?
Cherry peppers, yeah.
What's that?
They're little peppers.
Really?
Red like cherries. I don't know.
Okay.
Just go with it.
I mean, I've heard of a chili pepper, but a cherry pepper.
And then it comes with a side of regular Alfredo as well. Kind of like when you get the breadsticks and you're like, can I have Alfredo with that? And then you dip the Alfredo tenders in the Alfredo.
Oh, no. There's
And then
something
if you go
even
down
better.
more, I know,
There's
if you go
something
down
better.
more.
Like, they are leading with their spicy Alfredo
And it's
fried
wrong.
chicken, but they are leading with the wrong story, guys. They are leading with the wrong story. They've got a chicken Alfredo pizza fritta on the menu.
So it's chicken Alfredo minus the fettuccine in a pizza pocket.
So it's chicken and cheese and bread.
Yes.
But
yes, it is.
like fresh baked bread.
And that's their 3-cheese blend. That sounds really good. That comes with a marinara and Alfredo dipping sauce, too.
Oh, boy.
That sounds better than the chicken tenders.
Hey, that's only $6.99. Man, what a savings. Actually, I would totally pay that right now.
I just remember last time we went, and they had one of their like special, hey, here's the new hotness deals, and it was that sandwich thing that Eric ordered. Do you remember when it came out, and it was so very tiny?
I remember him being disappointed with
it was
it.
like very, very tiny. It was like, what happened to it? So you don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Here's what I think it comes down to. All of this stuff, I don't know how the Olive Garden runs their show in the back, but the moment... I feel like my innocence was completely lost when I went to O'Charlie's. I don't know if you guys have one near you, but I
used to love their soup.
I love O'Charlie's. They have this cheddar potato soup. And so I'm pretty sure it was my birthday, and we did Odi's birthday lunch at O'Charlie's. So I love eating there. I do. And they bring out the soup, and I'm just like, what the heck? And it was like this moment when I realized, okay, the potatoes in here are just the French fries, and then the soup was like goo. And I said to the manager, I was like, yeah, like, because he walked by and asked.
Yeah,
I didn't complain. He walked by and asked the couch, like, the soup's kind of whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, it comes in cans and we add water. They didn't put enough water in it.
There you go.
It is. When he said that, I was just like, what are we doing here?
Matter of fact, you could do the cans at home yourself.
Like, you're telling me that this is your French fries that come frozen and your can of sludge that you put water with.
Yep.
And then you sprinkle cheese on top and just walk it out to me? Why am I here, sir?
That's all those restaurants. It's all frozen.
I know, but
there's something else.
Mm-hmm. So even if they're just microwaving it, I'd eat that.
You want the Alfredo fritters?
You know what? In fact, just keep bringing me Alfredo shots. I'm just going to drink them.
The Riot is the radio equivalent of Taco Bell meat. RadioU.
Whatever you casually dismiss, I don't care what it is, there is a whole group of people that are obsessed with it. So when you're walking through the gas station and you see some energy drinks and you just walk past them, I just heard the phrase for the first time, though I shouldn't be surprised, the energy drink community.
Because there's people that are fans.
What?
Well, now
the energy drink community.
Yeah, totally, because they're the ones that pay attention to new flavors, new companies, new things that come out, new changes. So why not? It's a fan base.
Right there. There you go. That's it. And then we could have a whole other discussion of what's my community? Who's my people? But we won't get into that right now. What I do want us to talk about, though.
Why were you looking at that, though?
Well, you know how sometimes, I can't remember, it's the something effect, when you notice something and then you start noticing it everywhere. Bang energy drink. I saw that at a gas station a couple of weeks ago, and then I felt like I kept seeing it. I saw it on a display at the store the other day, and then Sunday morning. I was hanging out with some people, and this guy walks in with a Bang energy drink, and I was just like, what is going on?
It's everywhere.
Everywhere I go, Bang energy. I should really get involved in all the hype.
Looks like it's a workout type of energy drink. by a sports company. Used to have a lot more caffeine, but they had to recently lower it per can.
Oh, really?
So looks like that's it.
Okay, they say that is if their new flavor, Rose All Day or Froze Rose?
Rosé or Rose? Rosé.
Yeah. Which they say that, like, basically they target alcohol flavors with some of their flavors, but there's no alcohol. There's just enough caffeine to make you
think it is
really have fun, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking like they have a cotton candy flavor, a rainbow one, a lemon drop, so blue raz. Like, they're trying to be cool. You know, they're trying. It's got some nice marketing.
It does. Like, it's well done. I mean, here is I'm going to go ahead and use the phrase attractive woman in a bikini drinking a Bang energy drink. And I imagine that she got, her current athletic body state.
Because of drinking it?
It's that energy drink that's really making that possible. So 300 milligrams of caffeine in a bright pink 16-ounce can. So that's 3 8-ounce cups of coffee is what you're basically
in the
getting.
Can?
Yeah.
I only worry about that because I know most people don't just stop there. That's not the limit for the day.
I don't know. I've seen people really, really take their time with an energy drink, and I don't think I can do that. Like, I don't take my time with anything.
But they are still pushing this a lot in a workout world. So if you have someone who's drinking this, maybe does a pre-workout, has coffee in the morning, like, you're way over your limit.
Oh, yeah.
This is the worry me. This is worry Nicky.
Yeah.
Like, don't have too much.
Well,
Remember the story of the guy and his teeth fell out? Like, just be careful, guys.
They should show him holding a can of this energy drink.
Not the bikini lady.
So it says, you're right, like, they target, must be workouts on some level because it says super creatine at the top. Does it have creatine in it?
It must.
Huh.
There's a rainbow unicorn flavor. That's packaged.
You know what? I have a stuffed rainbow unicorn in the passenger seat in my car.
And what's funny is that one's way cheaper than some of the other flavors. So I don't know if it's not, just doesn't do as well.
Okay, well, if you're telling me that there's a pricing structure, Nikki, maybe some of them have certain ingredients and some don't.
Probably so.
All right. Well, don't you feel like you and I probably need to try it?
If you're seeing it everywhere, if you want to grab one, I don't drink energy drinks. That's one thing I never got into, and I don't need to go down the hole.
Yet.
No, I don't need to.
Yet.
Don't want to.
Yet.
Wrong.
Yet.
I have enough problems already. I don't need to add any more. We all have enough problems.
I have so many things in my life I have to say no to every day.
I know, and I can't add another pretty unicorn energy drink to that. I'm not strong enough.
You can do it, Nikki.
I'm not, so I can't even get started.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Here, Hudson, bury your face in this.